Welcome back to another how-to video. We're going to cover how to make a knob in FreeCAD, how to model it. So we want to start with the part design workbench, and we want to open up the model tree. So we do that first and go to File, New. That's the next thing. And then we want to create a body right over here with this icon. You can give that body a name if you want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead here and call this knob body. It's not all that creative, but there it is. So we'll take care of that. That's an optional step. The next thing you want to do is turn on the origin and plane display. Let's increase the size of that a little bit so we can see all of that. And then highlight the XY plane and then navigate over to the create reference or datum plane. Hit that, and then we've got a datum plane. You can just take the defaults, that's fine, just hit OK. So now we'll go to the additive primitives and we'll select cone right there. We'll change the values. We'll make this one 10, this one 8, this one 8, and that's good for the dimensions. And then here we want to do selecting and hit that reference plane so we get this green message attached with mode XY on plane. So we can hit OK, and there's the body of the knob. Not particularly useful, but it's starting to take shape. Play around with the dimensions if you want. I just picked what I felt was aesthetically pleasing. So the next thing we want to do is we want to get a dimple in here. Probably not necessary, but it makes the knob look a little nicer, makes it look a little more professional. So in order to do that, we'll go into the subtractive primitives and we'll pick a sphere. So we'll do that, and once we get that sphere squared away, we want to get the datum plane clicked. So we got again here attached with mode XY on plane. So we'll scroll down to attachment, offset, and we'll make that 18. That seems to work pretty well for me. You'll have to play around with that a little bit just to get it to your liking. This whole thing's going to jump up, but we'll fix that by going into sphere, setting its radius to 12 millimeters. So there you have it. Right there we're finished with the body. We got the body here, we got the dimple in here, and we don't have any tabs or wings on this knob yet. So let's go ahead and take care of that. So to proceed with that, we're going to go here to the XZ plane. Going to click on that, and we're going to go into the sketcher. Let's pull this up a little bit so we can see it a little bit better. So we need some external geometry so we have something to attach this tab to. So in order to do that, we go to this external geometry actions, this tool right here, and we mouse over this corner and we get that yellow line. We click on that, it goes red with 2 points, hit escape and cancel the tool. So there's our external geometry. The next thing we want to do is we want to create the wing or the tab that we want to put on this knob. So we can start with the polyline tool. Just go ahead and select that right there. And the only thing that I can say with this is make sure that you close it. That's important. It's got to be closed. So we'll cancel that tool. And what we need to do now is we need to apply constraints. This is kind of a mess. So we've got a horizontal constraint on the bottom line. It just happened to work out that way, which is what we want. So we'll go to this top line. We also want to apply a horizontal constraint to that. So the top and the bottom lines have a horizontal constraint. The next thing we want to do is make sure that the top and bottom lines are equal. So we'll do a click, and we'll do a control click, and we'll get these to be equal. So we'll do that. We also want to get this referenced down at the base of this cone or this knob body. We want to click here, and we want to click on the X-axis. and we'll hit that. There we go. That's what we want to do. So the next thing we want to do is we want to go ahead here and click on our reference external geometry line and this, and we want to apply an equal constraint to that. And we also want to go ahead here and make sure that these are parallel. So we've got that. We also want to apply here a length to the tab so we know what the projection is from the hub or the center or the knob body. Let's go ahead and click on that. Go for the horizontal distance constraint. I used 8 millimeters. Pick what you're comfortable with. And then the last thing we need to do here is click on this and click on this so we have a distance from this tab to the body or the hub of the knob. So we need to get a horizontal distance in there. So what will happen here, I'm going to start with 1 millimeter. We got to change it. But this went green, which means we got a fully constrained sketch. We got to have that. And actually, because this is going to be a flat face right in here, if we just butt this up against this circular or curve, we're going to get a gap. So we actually want to make this cut into the body. So let's go up here and make this minus 0.6 to take care of that. So you see how that works. So we're done here. We've got a tab, 8 millimeters less the minus 0.6. It's registered properly. It's parallel. So we go ahead and close this out. So that being done, we can see we've got the sketch highlighted, and we also have the outline right here. It's all in green. So we want to go ahead and do a pad. So that's a really fat tab. We don't want that, so we'll change this to 4.5 and we'll do symmetric on the plane. And we can go ahead here and just click OK. So right now, if you want a knob body and you want just a single tab, you're sort of done. You don't really have to do any more. While we're waiting to do a little bit more on this, let's go ahead. We can save this. This is my FreeCAD folder. I've got a knob 1 here already, so we'll just go ahead and save it back into that. So let's go ahead, just for fun, and let's put 2 more tabs or wings on this knob. So what you want to do that is highlight the pad and then go ahead and click on the polar pattern tool, which is this guy here. So click on that, and what we need to do is we need to specify an axis of rotation, which is going to be Z. So we'll pick that. And this 360 degrees is the total sweep of all the elements that will be in this reoccurring pattern. So we want to kick it up here 2 and 3. So just note that 360 degrees, we're going to divide that by 3 and we get 120 degrees. If it was 4, it would be 90 degrees, but we'll leave it at 3. So we hit OK. There's your knob with 3 wings or tabs. And I'll go ahead here and just take a look at a top view. And you can see right here these tabs project into the knob body, which prevents gaps which would show up right here. So we don't have any gaps. So this will print out nicely. So that said, what we want to do is we want to export this as an STL file. So to do that, click on the bottommost feature. That highlights the entire model. You can see that in green. Go over here to File, Export. And I usually export everything as STL. It works well for me. I'm on Prusa Slicer. So we'll go ahead and let me pick my Prusa Slicer folder, and then again I've got a knob 1. We can pick that. We'll overwrite it. So that just created my STL file of this model. So we'll go ahead here and save this and get out of this. So if I go into Prusa Slicer, we want to import that STL file. So we're already in the folder. So that is where that STL file is. We're looking for knob 1. There it is. Go ahead and open it. And there's the model right there. So my heat bed is kind of messed up. I've got some cracks and problems up in here. So this is really nice. You can go ahead and move this around. Put this on your heat bed wherever you've got a good clean surface. That'll print nicely. So this knob does not have a hole in it for the shaft, so it's kind of useless the way it is right now. But that's it for part 1 on this video. I'm going to do a part 2 and deal with the hole for the shaft and how we take care of that. So thanks for watching, and I hope that this video is helpful. Leave some comments if you'd like, subscribe if you'd like. Thanks for watching.